Arizona Western College since 1970.
Exactly how does Border Radio bring you some of the most incredible music on the planet? Listener support. Donations from people who care. Your support is an investment in the powerful idea that handcrafted songs from yesterday and today should be accessible, relevant, and always playing for everyone. Visit borderradioaz.org to support the music, and thanks.
What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ronnie.
And on today's program, we are going to be joined first by Jennifer Kempton from Yuma Counseling Services right here in Yuma, Arizona. We're going to be talking about OCD because this is OCD Awareness Week. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
Yeah, so perfect guest to talk about that. And
very cool.
Somebody that suffers from it and also got it under control. So that, as well as Misty and Kase from Naked Dates and High Tanks Brewing Company. Their season is about to kick off next month. So stay with us for What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right now on KOFA 94.7 FM.
And streaming online at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. And you can stream right now on the Border Radio Facebook page and KAWC YouTube page, and email us at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter is sponsored by Yuma and Imperial Valley Wealth Management, offering solutions for those who value financial planning. YIVWM.com.
Chili from Philly. Unique Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome to another episode of What's Up Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ronnie.
And on today's program, I just found out she does not like to be called Jennifer. So
That's her legal name.
She puts it up there for legal reasons. But no, we are here with Jenny Kempton from Yuma Counseling Services, again, from right here in Yuma, Arizona. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
This was a perfect time. We mentioned it's OCD Awareness Week, and that's something that you tackle in your practice, right?
I do. Yes, that is. I am the expert in the town.
Okay.
By default, I experience OCD, and I was diagnosed in May of 2023, and I did an intensive outpatient program myself just at the end of my schooling. And by default, trial by fire, I learned how to help people, and now I'm doing training in it.
So for people that don't know or understand, what is OCD exactly, and what are some of the things that somebody would suffer from if they have it?
Yeah. So OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder, and people would experience some type of obsession. It would be an intrusive thought. It would be maybe an image that comes to mind, and it's something that they're highly distressed about. It's not something that they want to be experiencing. And they might have, what if this might happen? Maybe this might happen. It's often misdiagnosed as anxiety because anxiety is part of the cycle. When the person starts experiencing that, they realize it's not a part of them. It's called dystonic, not a part of their value system. And they think, oh my gosh, why am I experiencing this? Their brain holds on to it. They experience anxiety, and then they do a compulsion, a thing, a ritual, something to make it stop, either mentally or physically.
Okay. So in the compulsion, when I've, I guess, been aware of it, or when it's kind of played out in media, it's like, okay, somebody may be washing their hands a lot, or somebody that has to touch every door that they go through.
Flick a light switch 30 times.
Is that really part of it, or is that the sensational part of it? Is that go ahead, and I'll let you answer that question.
Go
ahead.
So Hollywood portrays some different themes like contamination OCD, maybe just right, symmetrical type of OCD, but the ones that aren't often seen, and often there's a lot of shame around them, there can be different themes, and people can rotate through life having different types of themes, and sometimes they're trauma based, so there can be ones that people don't like talking about are harm OCD. They're afraid they're going to hurt somebody, maybe on accident or on purpose. There's pedophilia OCD, afraid of being a pedophile. They're not. And OCD attacks the things we love the most. So it would be if we care about our family, if we're a school teacher and they hear, I heard about somebody doing this, and then their OCD will latch onto it. What if you're like that? And it's the total opposite of what that person is. And so that's why there's so much distress. So they do the compulsion, which is, and maybe it's avoidance too, that can be in place of the compulsion. And so they can okay, I'm not going to be around children. And OCD says, oh, look, we made that better and let's do more. And so
Oh, wow.
it'll
Like isolate further.
yeah, let's isolate further. There's isolation is a huge part. Oh, those people don't like you. Okay, let's stay away from them, or let's try to people please. And so it can use anything, can be a compulsion. And there can be thousands of types of themes that people may not have heard about. Emotional contamination, afraid we're going to catch other people's emotions. So many different things that people haven't heard about.
And there'll be many more, I'm sure, in the future. I remember watching this show about obsessions, and this lady was so scared every time she saw a pedestrian that she would hit them, that she'd drive right by them, but she'd have to circle around the block like 50 times just to make sure she didn't hit them. But she didn't hit them, but her brain was telling her, you might have. So stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. That's like the harm OCD of fear that they're going to hit somebody. And so then the OCD says we get a little bit of relief when the compulsion happens. See, that made it better. So let's do it again and more and more.
And then you can't get out.
Go back up to the obsession, back through the anxiety. So it's tightens.
A cycle.
So there has to be a certain type of treatment for this. And so often people are not diagnosed for 14 or given the right kind of care for 14 to 17 years on average. Mine was almost 30 years. And so it was pretty intense. And I went through different types of themes based on some on trauma, some just my OCD just kind of picked up on it.
So we like to dive into the history a little bit on all of our guests. How did you end up here in Yuma? Are you from here? Or?
No, I'm not. My husband is from Arizona originally, and I wanted to find a job here. We applied all over the nation after he finished school, and now he works at AWC as a professor.
Oh, what
does he teach?
He teaches biology, mostly nursing biology classes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. So he applied here and got the job here.
Yep.
So you guys came to Yuma.
Yeah,
Where are you originally from?
I'm from Kentucky. I grew up in Kentucky.
Kentucky.
So, like we're military, but ended up in Kentucky by the time I was 5. And then stayed there till I was 18 and came out to school for ASU and then met Colton.
Party school.
After a little while. And then, we ended up here after we finished our schooling.
So what did you originally go to school for? I think in your bio, a little bit of a child development. Was that part of it?
Yeah, child development is what I went into after searching a little bit in school and finding out I wanted to help educate people about children just developmentally appropriately, teaching about just different things, how the body works. And I think there's a lot of shame around like sexuality and teaching that with children. And then kids experience shame and then they don't get the help that they need if they get into different addictions. And so that became kind of my passion, is teaching not just with addictions, but some people just have shame about having sexual relationships with their partners and different things like that. And just children learning generally so that they don't have shame around their bodies and things that are natural and things like that. So I started there, and then I wanted to be a college professor, and then trauma led me into being a social worker like 10 years later.
Yeah. So you went for that. And then let's get into that, how you ended up in the field, because a previous guest of ours, a good friend of mine, Troy, how did you get introduced to him and go to, I think you said you went to one of his retreats and then something happened.
Yes, I went to several of his retreats.
No, okay.
Yeah. And I started out in September of 2019. I had some traumatic incidents that happened. I was trying to manage what I didn't know was my OCD and different types of trauma reactions. And then I went to the retreat and realized this is what I need to get better. This is what I need for healing. And so I remember when I came home from the retreat, just sitting on the floor and pulling out all the information from the Finding Peace material and thought, this looks like a lot, but I'm going to pull it apart. I'm going to learn it. I'm going to reach out to friends. I'm going to do what they taught us at the retreat. And I'm going to heal. This is what I need to do. It was kind of, I was at the bottom at that point and I didn't know what else to do. And that felt right for me.
So you said OCD is often misdiagnosed.
Yes.
What is it misdiagnosed as?
Usually anxiety, but there can be different things, and there can be what's called comorbid conditions. So people might be experiencing different things, like anxiety was something I was experiencing. So if somebody did a screening for me, then they would be like, oh, yep, that's anxiety because the levels were so high. It might be PTSD, trauma, and my trauma and OCD are so tight that my OCD and trauma therapist is even not sure how to
tackle it.
Unwind them, which one's which. And so we have to work together to say, okay, that's OCD. Okay, that's your trauma. And so those can be some things, but there can be BDD, body dysmorphic disorder. There can be different eating disorders, trichotillomania, which is hair pulling. So there's lots of things. Autism can present like OCD. People might think, oh, that's autism. They're very rigid, but it's actually OCD. And they're like, no, I don't want to be doing these things. And this isn't who I am. So there's lots of different diagnoses.
And you mentioned trauma because Troy's retreats kind of focus in on that. So trauma was your first kind of gateway into these things.
Yeah.
You said, I recognize some things about myself. There's a workbook that comes with the retreat. You started to dive into that and you started to figure out how to heal yourself. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I ended up starting a book group with some of my friends who also experienced trauma at that time. And we just went to their house and we spent 9 months, like every week, just diving into it for a couple hours and sharing our deep stories and healing together. And we learned what that healing salve is to help with that trauma or emotional wounds. And that was really healing for me. And then I ended up feeling like I wanted to do more of these groups. And so I just started volunteering and doing a lot of these different groups, going to every retreat Troy had.
So you went to the first one and it's like, okay, it spoke to you, it resonated, you're finding healing. You started the group and then it's like, I want to be a part of other people's healing journeys.
I did. Yeah. I thought I want to help other people have this healing that I've experienced. I felt kind of a call to do that and to help other people, but I knew that I needed more healing myself. And so it's like every time I went through the book, it's like the layers, kind of like an onion would peel down. And at that point, my brain was ready to work through this trauma with rejection, loss, whatever it was, betrayal, abandonment, neglect, different things like that.
So what are some of the things inside of the Finding Peace philosophy that really helped you?
Some things that really helped me. What comes to mind first, or what we call the shadows of shame. It's what family and or society teach us. And we set that outside of ourselves because we know that those aren't us. And then kind of create like an archetype, just kind of, if it was outside of yourself, what would it be saying? And so being able to externalize that and realize that that's not me.
It's like a different voice. It's not you. It's something else saying these things that it could be, well, typically a lie about you.
Right. Yeah. And people are like, oh, is that like schizophrenia? I'm like, no, this is not the same. We're not hearing voices. It's just kind of like messages that we've heard.
Like, whatever. I'm not
Negative
good enough.
thoughts.
Right.
Exactly.
Like I can't go do this. Like, who am I to think that I could go do this? Stuff like that. Like everybody, everybody experiences that, right?
Totally.
That's not schizophrenia or else we're all schizophrenic.
It's because sometimes clients will be like, what do you mean? Or they're like, no, I don't hear voices. So I like to clarify that, but it's like, no, we're just putting it outside what we've heard from messages from family or society, and what would it be saying? And I am not enough is the biggest one that I hear from people. When I bring it up, they're like, oh yeah, and they even have shame about experiencing that. And I'm like, I think everybody kind of has experienced those kinds of things.
And Troy names them, so it helps you kind of find out or dive into it, like the judge, right? And there's a few other ones.
Yeah, the judge, which judges us, the royal, which judges other people, which can be sneaky. And just, it's a defense mechanism kind of thing. There's the martyr, just being the doormat for everybody else. The rebel, just don't care about other people or myself. And the impotent one, like, I can't, it's always going to be this way, it'll never get better kind of stuff. And the I'm trying to think of I think there's two more, but I'm kind of nervous.
Man, that's okay.
Yeah,
That's
no,
okay.
that's a lot to
But-
digest right there.
But yeah, so it helps you, like you said, to build that archetype, build that outside of you, and you're recognizing, okay, that's not me. That creating that separation really helps.
Yeah.
When people start to do that, and it's like, oh, well, you feel some relief,
Yeah. I think it really, when people are able, I'll say, what are those shadows of shame saying? And it takes a while to learn them, but I'm like, just put it outside. And what is it saying? And then they're actually able to address it. And it's saying this. And then we can say, okay, well, thanks for trying to help me, but I don't need that kind of help. You can
That's
go.
right.
Mhm.
And then
You kind of take your authority back.
yeah, it's very empowering and saying, okay, the person I am authentically, what is that truth, and being able to tap into that truth and light, and then also reaching out to others for connection. That's that healing style that I'm talking about, acceptance, and with loss, being able to have people present, and being able to have people we can trust, and with abuse, just having people who respect boundaries and different things like that. So that's that healing style of having acceptance, and not just acceptance, but having presence of other people and attention from other people, which people experience shame. Oh, I don't want to ask people for needs with that, but that's how we are able to heal.
This is a lot of like real deep work.
Yeah.
Do you know like the average time it takes for someone to maybe actually accept this, have a breakthrough, change a little bit?
It all varies because we're all different in our background experiences. It depends if somebody's doing a retreat. I think people can really jump in and do that work over that weekend. And that really helped me like learn about, it was like 30 hours. So it's like 6 months of work, like all in one, package.
Fast
deal.
track.
Yeah. I've seen people who started working with me, and I would work with them every week, and it takes, I don't know, 6 months probably to really get the information in, but I'd say at least a month or a month and a half before they start getting the basics of it.
It's a basic, starting to connect some dots. And
especially if they're reading the book really into it.
yeah. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the OCD side and a certain treatment. And I think I'm going to get EDMR. Is that EMDR? Okay. I'm also dyslexic, so we just found that out right now on the show. No, I'm just kidding.
He diagnosed himself.
I was close, Talon. I was close. All right. But we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to talk more about that as soon as we get back. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by Yuma and Imperial Valley Wealth Management, offering listeners a one-on-one, no-obligation consultation to review their current financial affairs and provide strategies for meeting future goals. More at yivwm.com. Investment advisory services offered through CWM, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor.
This is 94.7 FM, KOFA Border Radio. I'm Juan Garcia from the KWC Newsroom. The weather forecast for Yuma today is sunny with the high near 85 and a north wind around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear this evening with a low around 59. Arizona Western College President Dr. Daniel Corr has announced his plans to retire effective July 2026. For more information, visit kawc.org/news. Stay tuned for more What's Up Yuma with Johnny and Ronnie on 94.7 FM, KOFA Border Radio.
K-pop fans, what's behind the girl crush movement in K-pop? Does gender equality exist in South Korea? Are girl crush songs for real, or just fun songs with a good dance beat? Join me this week for the Girl Crush Show on K-Pop for Border to hear what girl groups like Blackpink, aespa, ITZY, and LE SSERAFIM have to say about self-confidence and self-love. K-Pop for Border airs on Saturdays at 1 p.m. on KOFA Radio.
I'm Mike Suba, and I'm a big supporter of KAWC. You're getting a great source of information about our community, about the people that are working and living here, and you start going, you know what, this is really a valued service. And that's the great thing, is you've got a partnership here. And I'm a big believer in partnerships, because The one thing I realized early on in life, I can maybe do a lot of stuff on a very limited basis, but when I start partnering up, it's amazing what we can do when we pool our resources. And so I hope that when people are listening to the station, enjoying the news broadcasts and the entertainment shows that are being presented, that they realize that you're not only the end user and enjoying what's being broadcast to you, but it can be a partnership too, where you can participate like I've discovered I can do and help get this service, enhance it, and provide even better programming. I'm Mike Suba, and I support KAWC.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We're here talking to Jenny Kempton. And before I left, I told everybody we're going to dive back into the OCD side and a treatment. And I got it in front of me this time, so I'm going to read it right. EMDR therapy. And that's something that you practice over at Yuma Counseling, right?
Yeah.
Can you let everybody know what this therapy is and kind of how it got started?
Yeah. So EMDR, eye movement desensitization reprocessing. Was created by Francine Shapiro in, I believe, the 90s. And so she was walking her dogs one day and thinking about her sister who drowned or almost drowned, and she was really distressed. And she said that she noticed that she wasn't distressed anymore. So she thought, what's going on? Why am I not distressed? And she noticed she was looking back and forth. So she's like, oh, well, that's interesting. So she was a researcher. So she went and worked with people who are Vietnam vets, and they started doing a kind of a method where it's called bilateral stimulus. And so they kind of move their hands from left to right, and it's just getting that left and right side of the brain to start talking again, that intellectual and emotional side of the brain. And they also do tapping on the left and right side of the body, or they have headsets and they make noises. That's the newer technology we have, where put the headsets on and it'll make noises like dee, 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 or we have little buzzers and it'll buzz on each side. And so there's a maladaptive memory that kind of gets lodged. And then the person starts believing, like if somebody's been to war, like, oh my goodness, there's that piece of paper on the floor is a bomb.
Oh,
and
wow.
So then they start linking things that they think are part of, they're in that situation again. And so it's getting the brain to start retraining it, the neural pathways, so that it can see, okay, that's not something that's harmful. And we also do it with things with what they call little t trauma, which I don't quite like that term because I don't want to downplay it at all.
Yeah.
And little t trauma is where people have experienced manipulation, maybe gaslighting, bullying, just anything that would create those negative core beliefs like I'm not enough. I've done it around, I experienced ADHD too, and I thought I was stupid going to school as a little kid. And so the different classes I was in and feeling like I wasn't smart. And so working on changing those negative core beliefs. And so we'll ask the person, what's the distressing event? What is your belief? Like I am smart. Like what's your positive core belief on a scale of 1 to 7? Oh, maybe it's a 6 right now. Or maybe it's a 3. And then what's your distress level? 0 to 10. Oh, like right now it's an 8. What's your emotion? And so we just go through that. And then through the EMDR, it's really interesting where the brain's picking up on, well, this happened, and this is why I'm not smart. And then all of a sudden we see this, what they call the wave, where the person's brain starts to say, but well, what about this? And what about this? And starts going towards the positive.
Wow.
We'll start to see it change. And then the numbers go up. And within like 30 minutes of doing it, it's amazing. We see something somebody's had from a little kid, like 5 years old, even if it was something that just happened recently, and it shifts even a couple points, like 20% in like a 30-minute session. And I mean, people have complex trauma, but so we can't say it's going to be this much time, but it takes a couple sessions on one target thing and that we're working on. And we can lower that distress level significantly, where it was a 10, and then we're seeing it go down to, a 5, or, and then a 3 and 2. And it may not get all the way down with somebody who's been an abuse victim, because there might be a threat still out there. And then we help them kind of say, what can I control in my environment? Maybe doing martial arts or different things like that. So that's kind of what EMDR is.
So take us through, like, if somebody came in and said, okay, I heard it on this very, very popular radio show that's worldwide.
Number one.
And they heard about it, and they come to your office and they said, I want this treatment. Take us through what happens when somebody comes in.
So I'll use an incident from my life that I use with people often. So when I was 8 years old, I fell in an icy lake and almost drowned. And so that would be a big T trauma event. And so I would come into my therapist if I was the client, and I'd say, okay, this is the event. I'm having a hard time being around water with my kids, like lakes. I see them, I get terrified. I can't go swimming in there. And I just am hyper vigilant is what it's called. But I would just be like, I'm super anxious about this. And they're like, all right, so on a scale of 1 to what's your negative core belief around this? I'm not going to survive. That would probably be what we have a list of different things to kind of help people with that and understand what negative core beliefs are. And so I said, I'm not going to survive. What's your distress level on a scale of 0 to 10? Oh, it's a 10 right now. I'm really anxious about this, really distressed. What would you like to believe instead? I'm going to survive. That's what I'd like to believe. How much do you believe that on a scale of 1 to 7? That's the positive cognition. I want to survive. How much do I believe on it right now? Well, like a 3 maybe. And so we kind of go with that highest number, they say. And then or maybe a 2, we might go with that, with the positive cognition side. And then the emotion, we'll ask them, what are your emotions? Like, I'm anxious, I'm scared, I'm terrified right now. And then we'll ask them somatically, which means body, where do you feel that in your body? Oh, my heart hurts, like my stomach, I feel tight. Okay. And then we'll say, what's the distressing image that goes with that? Oh, it's me and my brother falling into the lake. Okay, so we're going to go with that, and we teach them grounding tools before this, so that if they can stabilize when they're not with us, or when they hit a really high trigger point when we're going through it. And we see if there's any back memories with what we call float back memory. Is there anything that's associated with these emotions and things from the past? And so then we go into the EMDR. And so when we start phase 4, which is the bilateral stimulus with the light or the headsets or buzzers or both, it's whatever works for people. We'll see what works for them. And and so then we'll say, okay, that target memory, you're going to think of that and go with that. And then we do what's called 30 passes, just kind of back and forth for 30. And I have a little timer on the side so I can see the 30 passes and the remote. And so I'll stop it and I'll say, what's coming up for you? And I've explained to them, I want you to say just 1 to 2 words, 1 to 2 sentences tops, because we don't want to go into talk therapy. We're letting your brain process this. And so they'll say, if I was saying it, my brother falling in. And so it's either a visual, an emotional sensation, I'm scared, or my heart's tight, and emotion, like a somatic type feeling. I say, okay, go with that. And then 30 more passes. And then we just keep on going. So like I said, a lot of times that we'll get a lot of that evidence. Well, this other thing happened where my sibling almost died, which happened to me, and I had to save them. And then this other thing happened and my sister got lost. And so it's like finding all these evidence. So we have that original image and then the feeder memory, and then we might have some what they call prongs just coming off of that. So some other things that the brain found evidence that like world's not safe. And then we'll see that wave where people start to say positive things. And I say, just go with what's coming up. We're not going to force it. And we don't stay in this incident. Your brain's going anywhere. So it may not seem related, but just say what's coming up. And then when they start saying several positive things, then I check the level of, if their distress has gone down, if their positive cognition is going up. And so we monitor that through the process and kind of watch them to make sure that they're not too distressed. If we need to ground, we can stop. And then we come back and do that after each session. and in between sessions, we create what we call a container, and we put that in there and give it to, if they believe in universe, God, whoever, a good friend, that visual. And then we do a grounding, a safe place in their mind that helps them feel like I can step out of the office and go back to my regular life, even though it might be it's going to come up. We just say, just put it back in that box, lock it up, in that
I like
visual.
that.
And so,
I like that.
and then you have your tools, you can go back to that safe place.
Wow, this is cool. Like, I need to schedule a session with you. I probably can't afford you, but we were talking about haunted houses yesterday and how scared I am of them. It's a experience from childhood. And I was like 4 going through it, and someone grabbed my leg and they wouldn't let go.
Oh, no.
And I was freaking out. My mom had to pull their hand off of me. So like ever since then, I've hated them. But
Gotcha.
like I'm an adult now, so it's interesting to think how like that situation can still play in my like unwillingness to go to a haunted house, so it's just crazy when you think about stuff like that, and it is all linked. So we're gonna have to get together.
I
need some therapy.
I'm willing to help you. I'm scared of them too, so I get you.
Okay, yay, I'm not the only one.
I know this is funny because I was with Troy yesterday, and yesterday I was like, "Hey, the haunted house is back. You want to go to it?" And he's like, "Absolutely, let's go." So me and Troy are going to go to the haunted house next week. But we got to wrap up, unfortunately, because I could hear you talk forever because this is absolutely fascinating. It's OCD Awareness Week. Anything you want to let people know about that, and then at the end, let them know how they can find out more information about your practice.
Yeah, so I forgot to say, we continue that EMDR until we get really low on it. So I want to let people know we continue in that process.
Okay.
But I'm at yumacounseling.com. That's where they can find out more information. Also Finding Peace Consulting. And those would be the best place to get those resources. And they can reach out to our office admin from the Finding Peace, or from the Yuma Counseling website.
So what about if somebody thinks they might have OCD to go get diagnosed? How do they follow that process?
That would be, wow.
If you don't know, it's okay.
Well, I do, but I'm like, I'm the only person in town that I know knows how to go through that process.
Okay.
One of my, but I did do some training with my colleagues so that they know how to detect it. And so they would send them over to me. I'm trying to think of anybody else in town. You can also go to psychologytoday.com and then put in you experience OCD.
Gotcha.
And ICBT, inferred cognitive behavioral therapy, put those in, and exposure and response prevention is the gold standard that's been known for years to help people with that. And DBT helps with that also, and ACT, acceptance and commitment therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy is DBT.
Wow. I know we're going to break in like 10 seconds. How can friends and family support someone with OCD? Real quick. I think that's really important.
Yeah. I think if their loved one will go to invite them into therapy with them, then getting that education from the therapist is huge. You really need that support system. And also, they have a program called SPACE, and the International OCD Foundation website is the most amazing place ever to get resources. And they have support groups. They're often free for the family, for those who experience it, for different subtypes, like different themes of OCD.
Thank you so much for being with us. Yeah, we're running out of time, but going to have you back on so we could dive a little bit deeper into this. With that, we are going to go to a break, and we'll be back with Kase and Misty from High Tanks Brewing Company and Naked Dates Farm. We're going to find out what they got going on, something really cool on October 31st for Halloween. We'll be back with them. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by Sunrise Cleaning, serving the Yuma area's residential and commercial cleaning needs. Sunrise exclusively uses eco-friendly cleaning products and provides specialty services such as solar panel cleaning and pressure washing. More information and appointment booking at sunrisecleaningaz.com.
This week on the Retro Cocktail Hour, we've got Jungle Jazz by Xavier Cugat and Modesto Duran. Steve Allen plays hi-fi music for influentials. And Mamie Eisenhower's favorite band, the Three Sons. I'm Daryl Brogdon. Join me where the music is shaken, not stirred. The Retro Cocktail Hour.
Saturday evening from 7 to 9 on Border Radio KOFA.
For KAWC News in Yuma, I'm Alexandra Rangel. America has no kings. That's the message uniting protesters. Millions are expected to take part nationwide in the No Kings protest on Saturday. The movement has sparked action from local activists across the country, like Darlene Irwin. She's a part of a group called Yuma County Indivisible, a coalition of Yuma residents and winter visitors who have come together to protest against President Trump, whom they believe is violating the constitutional limits of presidential authority.
We have constitutional rights and we have freedoms, the freedom to speak out, the freedom to dissent. We don't need to have one person and a bunch of people that want to be like dictators.
Irwin says they're expecting hundreds to attend Saturday's event. The group will be setting up at the intersection of South 4th Avenue and West 16th Street from 9 to 11:30 a.m. For KAWC News, I'm Alexandra Rangel.
Hear the rhythm. Feel the beat. Let your curiosity run away on the Latin Alternative. Hi, I'm Josh Norick. Every episode of the Latin Alternative takes you on a thrilling rendezvous of sonic and exotic landscapes in Latin rock, funk, hip-hop, electronic, and tropical music. Join me and my co-host Ernesto Lechner on the Latin Alternative.
Monday evening at 7 on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
I'm Chris Wheeler, owner of Prison Hill Brewing Company. I support KAWC because I think KAWC brings a service to the community that you don't get on commercial radio. You have news, you have entertainment, you have things like Science Friday. It's a perspective that is not available on a commercial platform, and it's oriented towards the community, for the community, and from within the community. Prison Hill underwrites KAWC and community radio because of what it brings to Yuma. It is the local perspective told by residents and from the view of people in the community. I don't think you get that anywhere else. Supporting KAWC really does bring a service that is not available elsewhere. It's a worthy endeavor, and I think that will just feed back and make Yuma a better place. I'm Chris Wheeler, and I support KAWC.
Jilly from Philly. Nick Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here now joined by Kase and Misty from, we're going to get it all right. So Naked Dates Farm, High Tanks Brewing Company, and High Tanks Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, that was
triple header today.
I know. So we got it all. So thank you guys for being with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
So as we do on this show, we like to get to know our guests a little bit more. And I've known you guys for a while, but this is for the audience, people that are listening.
And me, I just met you.
Yeah, and Ronnie, for
like
Ronnie's
to get
sake.
To know
you. So Naked Date Farm, that's the original thing that brought you here, right? It was the farm.
Yes.
Right. And so tell everybody where you're originally from and how'd you end up in Yuma?
So we're originally Oregonians, so came from the Columbia River Gorge in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
My folks were snowbirds down here, and they were a little too young to actually be inactive or just play golf type of snowboards. So they ended up buying some property.
Yeah. What year do you know?
Yeah. It was 2004.
Okay.
Okay.
So it was 2004. They bought the original 40 acres. They added another 40 acres, and then Misty and I have added another 33 acres
That's
since then.
huge.
So it's been a family project for a little over 20 years now. We were full-time Oregonians up until 2013.
I've never heard that word. And I know so many people from Oregon. That's awesome. I like that word. Oregonians.
Yep, full time, and then we've been down here ever since. Love the desert. We loved the project from the beginning.
So was it they needed help? Is that why you came down here?
It was kind of that. They were basically we were down for Thanksgiving one year, and my dad we were drinking beer in the garage, and it's like, well, we're getting a little too old to be doing all this stuff. It's getting to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
And so he said, we're either going to sell it, or if you guys are interested, we'd have you guys lease it from us and take it over. And so we did that.
Okay. Was that a discussion, or was it right away like, yeah, let's do it?
Oh, it was a discussion.
Were you like not on board at first?
No, I was. It was
Okay.
it was definitely a discussion. I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought
I don't know what I'm doing.
Date farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at the time we were dating. And so it was like, and Misty had a career up north, which fortunately she was able to continue to work remotely right up until last January. And I was in construction up north, and I went through the housing crisis and all that of 2008, 2009, and had basically gotten to ground zero with everything on the construction end of things. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to do this again.
Yeah.
So it seemed like a good time to make a change.
Yeah.
So then you get over here to what you said about 2013. It's a date farm. Was that you have a little area where people can come in and purchase the dates? Was that always there? Was that always part of it, or was it just a farm?
So when we got on deck, it was immediately part of it. We started out just doing date shakes and selling our dates and a little bit of baked goods and just kind of playing around. And started doing a little bit of music pretty quickly thereafter.
Oh, so how long until the music side of it? Was that like the first year? Like you came down and like...
No, it wasn't the first year. It was a couple years in, but we started out just doing like open mics out there.
Oh, okay.
And just doing it once a week. Maybe it was once.
Yeah, it was like, it wasn't as often as it is now. And it was just, it was a slow roll into where we are today, because she was busy with a full-time job. I was busy trying to farm a farm that wasn't quite ready to be farmed. Dates take a lot of years to
I don't know anything about dates.
Yeah. So
were you making the shakes and stuff, like recipes? Like, were you having to learn how to make an actual date shake?
Yep. It's not that hard. It's just ice cream.
Just a blender.
You could do it, Ronnie.
Okay.
Yeah, you could do it.
My cooking skills are like average. Yeah. I'm sure I could use a blender.
So you're doing the open mics, you're getting some stuff. And then how does it come to your mind that this could be more? Was it you have more free time? Like, let's do this? Or what was it? Because now they, went from just a naked date farm to High Tanks Brewing. So beer fits into this, and we're going to find out how that happens. But before that, I think people started to know it as a place to go out and experience entertainment during the winter and the cooler season.
Yeah. And we just kind of, we realized, well, when we first started, we really didn't know whether people would make the trek out there. It's
because it is a little bit of a trek. Yeah.
It's off the beaten path. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's a tremendous, beautiful location, but we just didn't know. So people started coming out, and we were like, well, shoot, this seems like it might work. And I remember my folks were out there one weekend, and it's like, where do these people come from? Like, well, Welton.
Wow.
Come over from Foothills, or and
they're out riding their ATVs and they ride by us, and they're like, "Oh, what's this place out here?" So yeah.
Where is it?
It's out by the Barry Goldwater bombing range. Out in Welton. We're not in Welton, but we're outside of Welton.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of between the Dome Valley, where you exit for Lagerda and Dome Valley.
Gotcha.
Off of the Interstate 8. We're off of 25E, which is about another 5 miles or so, down Old Highway 80. And then we are due south on 25E, another 5 miles or so.
Gotcha.
So right up against the Barry Goldwater and the Gila Mountains, and just a really beautiful spot.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. So then people started to show up, and then you're like, okay, we can get some more people out here. Because I know you, Kase, you like to build things, or maybe Misty likes to tell you to build things or something out there. But it started small, and you just continue to expand and expand. Was it like this is our vision, or is everything just incremental?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
I mean, we had a bigger vision from day one, but cash flow and just just the level of business we were doing kind of dictated. And then talent, quite frankly, the folks that we work with, we had some very special people come on board that had some experience and helped us along.
Yeah, you're talking about like entertainment wise too, with Nolan and
with Nolan, and then we had some folks that knew how to run social media pretty well.
Yeah.
That really gave us a big boost.
That guy,
that guy.
Yeah, it's helped a lot. So
yeah.
So then, okay, we're dive into a little bit about the beer. It's a part of it. Were you just out there? Like you said, it takes a while for these dates to come to season. Were you out there in your spare time then, like just as a chemist, figuring out how to make this beer?
More or less, yeah. So,
and why beer? Like, what brought that on?
That's delicious.
We love.
Oh, you
beer.
love beer? Okay.
Come on.
Well, I don't drink, so like, but it is a very popular item in the world. But I was just curious, like, if it's something you've always wanted to do.
Misty bought me a homebrew kit. I think that was 2010,
2011,
somewhere in there. And so we would play with that every weekend when we were still Oregonians. So every weekend we'd try and make a little batch of beer, and we had some great ones. And we just carried that obviously back down to the farm with us when we moved down. But yeah, it was always part of the idea out there that we wanted to have a full scale commercial brewery. So we spent the first 10 years basically perfecting recipes and kind of like you said, sort of being the chemist, being the chef, experimenting. And of course dates being a big part of what we brew. So we definitely wanted to incorporate the dates into several of our brews anyway. So it's been really, really fun.
How many beers do you have?
We have currently, so it'll be 13, I think, as of now. Yeah. Right now, 13 beers.
13 beers.
Yeah.
So you're saying like a new one is coming online for the season?
We will always have new beers that'll kind of cycle in and out seasonally. So like porters, those work really well in the winter, porters and stouts. So we'll be bringing out our date coffee stout, which was really, really popular last winter.
Nice.
So that'll be coming along here in another month or so. And then summertime, we like the crispy, more refreshing beers. So,
yeah, absolutely. Because it changes, like you said, it changes with the season.
It really
the porters have a little, I don't know if they're heavier or thicker. There's like just something about it, a little bit more comforting for that time, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And I know we kind of went into it a little bit, but we're going to go into it a little bit more after the break. We're going to take a break because once it became like the brewery, and that's kind of when things started to take off and develop, and people really started to go out there, and you've got some huge crowds. So we're going to talk about that because I think Kelly Hughes, who's coming back here pretty soon, he's a big part of that as well. So we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
Today's day sponsor is Bill Moody, sharing this anniversary message. Stephanie, I remember your smile the first time I told you I love you, like yesterday. I knew then our love is true and that we will always be there for each other. Your wedding day smile warms my heart to this day, as do our 5 years of love, adventures, and laughter. Here's to 5 years and forevermore.
This is folk singer Michael Jonathan. Join us on Wood Songs this week. Gareth Pearson is here, an amazing guitarist called the Welsh Tornado, and the Magnolia Janes from Carnegie Hall to performing with Nelson Mandela, and now on Wood Songs, plus an amazing Wood Songs kid. All this and more on the Wood Songs Old Time Radio Hour.
Tuesday evening at 7 on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
Arizona Western College will host a Katrinas and Katrines competition starting at 3 on October 30th in the breezeway of the 3C building on AWC's Yuma campus. Whether competing in attire or simply admiring the artistry, this celebration of Mexican tradition is open to everyone. Complete information is under events at azwestern.edu.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here talking with Kase and Misty from Naked Dates and High Tanks Brewing Company. And so we got into the beer. You were the chemist and the taste tester, which is a great job to have to be able to do that. And so
free beer.
You dialed it in. You used the dates. So the Naked Date Farm became High Tanks Brewing Company, and it kind of took on a different life at that point, right?
Yeah. It did.
He's looking at you,
like
Misty.
speechless.
Misty's
They're
like,
like,
Misty,
"Did it?"
it's your turn to talk.
Yeah, you're Misty's turn.
Yeah. So it actually, we kind of, I don't want to say blew up, but
Yeah.
You blew up.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It's
we
a,
did.
you could say stuff. Yeah, it's
You can
blew up.
own it. Like, yeah, you blew up.
Yeah, no, it really helped expand the business out there a lot, tremendously.
Were you surprised?
Very surprised.
Yeah.
Well, we knew it would be good
Yes.
for business, but it helped a lot. The music too has been huge, and it's being a big outdoor venue like we are. We can draw pretty big crowds, and that helps get bigger musicians out there as well, because we can handle it.
How often do you have music?
We have music 3 days a week. So
3 days a week?
We're open.
Oh.
Yeah, we're open November through April, 4 days a week.
Okay.
So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is live music every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, and you've your connection and Nolan's connection to Oregon, you get a lot of really cool like folk bands and stuff like that. People that like I would listen, it's like they're coming to Yuma. This is crazy. But you get some really good talent out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. We get a lot of traveling artists then. And Nolan is connected to the music scene. And so he, people reach out to him. They say, hey, we're coming through. Do you have an open slot for us? So yeah, he's able to get us some good, unique music here.
Well, I think it's cool because it's like, closer than going to Phoenix or San Diego.
Right.
So we'll go out there.
Yeah, we'll be announcing some really good shows this year. They're kind of a surprise yet, and we're still
Okay, we don't
working
get
out,
to know
we're
yet.
working out details. But there's going to be some
yeah.
really great music out there this year, as well as food and just a lot of fun out there.
Do you ever have any weddings?
We have.
You have had weddings?
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was they were pretty small, but
okay.
it was nice. I mean, it's a beautiful area
Yeah,
out there.
I would imagine.
Yeah. Something
Awesome.
that's a little more rustic, but still has all the amenities that you need. So
okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Weddings, corporate events as well. We've done several of those. And so, retreats. We've done some of that. It's really a flexible space.
Yeah.
We've added some really nice bathrooms and showers. We do glamping out there as well. So,
Glamping. Yeah, we're going to touch on that here in a little bit as well. So you got this venue. You added music. You got food out there. And then you do this whole thing with a date night with a special chef that comes out. So tell everybody about that.
Yeah. So Bob Nittifer and Melba Wagner.
A lot of people in Yuma know that name.
Yeah.
Those names. Yeah.
Yeah, they're our chefs. So we contract with them, and they come out and they do a 5-course meal. We set up tables underneath the palm trees. We've got lights. It's a beautiful setting. The Yuma Orchestra has come out and they've played for us at each one so far. So
my goodness.
It really, really sets.
So
the
people have to like
mood.
buy tickets in advance to do this? Does it always sell out?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got to go.
Yeah,
I've never been.
it's definitely great. And how did that connection? How did you guys link up with those two chefs?
We actually.
So it turns out my mom was like best friends with Bob's wife.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
but
good.
we linked up through Visit Yuma, actually. They had, because they were doing the date night dinners here in Bard.
Okay.
And they didn't want to do them anymore. And so we said, hey,
We'll take
we've
it.
got a date farm. We'll do this. And so they connected us with Bob and Melba, which has been, they are fantastic. I mean, not only are they great chefs, but they're just wonderful people to work with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and then what really got Ronnie perked up was the glamping. Explain the glamping.
Yes, I'm not a
aspect of
big
it.
camping person unless
But-
there's showers and bathrooms and I'm not on the ground.
There's a bed, Ronnie. There's an actual bed in these things. So go
Sold.
explain that. Was that another we should add these? How'd that happen?
I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, no, I was.
No,
It must be working.
Yeah, no, it's we have 5 big bell tents,
Okay.
and each one of them has a queen bed inside, and they're fully furnished with. They've got a couple chairs, a table outside. They have their own private fire pit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then we've got bathrooms, showers.
But it's smart because, so I went camping a lot as a kid. I grew up in Farmington, New Mexico, kind of for like 7 years. We went camping all the time. As a kid, it's fun. You don't have to pack anything. The adults do it.
Yeah.
Now as an adult, I'm like, I wouldn't even know what to bring to take my kids camping and have them survive the trip. So like you guys take care of all of it.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yep. Just
Very
show
smart
up with
of
your
you.
toothbrush. You'll be fine.
Show up with your
Or
toothbrush.
not. Like
And then if you wake up on a Saturday, what time does the restaurant side of it open?
So the restaurant side will open at 11 o'clock this year. But we also on Saturday mornings, we will have yoga. So we have yoga every Saturday at 10 a.m.
So you get to wake up, do yoga with one of our former guests,
Which one?
Alexis.
Oh, solar plexus.
Yes.
Alexis solar plexus. That's her Instagram name.
You know her by her Instagram name. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so she helps you. And then breakfast time.
Yep.
Wow. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool.
How did she get involved?
Oh.
Did she like volunteer?
She just showed up.
No, we met her through Kase's
Son and
daughter-in-law.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, our son and daughter-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she had just gone through a teacher training, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to teach a class out here?" And it's just
Worked out.
Oh my
really
gosh,
great
she
ever
is
And
the
she's
best.
awesome. What'd she call herself? A weird Canadian. And she's
Oh, yeah,
so
she did-
funny.
she did
I
mention
loved
that, yeah.
her. She was great.
She's
so.
the best instructor.
her
the
her
best yoga
classes are
teacher.
so
Very, very
Yeah. Yeah, because you have to have something to make people feel comfortable to do it, and she has a way of being able to do that and make people. So, what are some of the other things that you guys do out there?
What is
Oh,
this
we do
tap room and pizzeria?
So
Is that something?
that's a different location.
Oh.
Yeah. So
You have
we
another
actually
one?
just started that in January.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Missy's going to take over the world. She has it's like, what's she going to do?
But she's so quiet and humble.
I know,
Like she'll do it really sneaky.
Yeah. So it's like okay, let's get into that. The
Yeah,
other
that sounds
location.
cool.
Something came available in Welton, correct?
Yes. And Welton, it was devastating to us to lose a business.
It was
you know?
Dusty's or something?
It was
or-
Dusty's
Yeah.
Pizza. And
Oh.
it was kind of like, for us, it was like, oh man, where are we going to go this summer?
Yeah.
It's like the one place to eat.
Yeah. And so it just was kind of like, man, that sucks.
Yeah,
So-
the former owner had called us up and Case, I want to sell the equipment and this and that. I'm like, okay. So we went and looked at it. We didn't really need anything for our place, but looked at it and I walked through and wheels started turning. So we're driving home. It's like, well,
Looking at her like, are we going to do this?
you're right. Should we just offer her so much for the whole thing? And we did. And it's been great. We opened January 20th and it's gone actually very, very well. The pizza is fantastic. We have great sandwiches and
great.
salads.
Oh my goodness.
We've both gained probably 10 pounds, but whatever.
Whatever. He's cool with
Right,
it.
right. And then, of course, we have all of our beers on tap there as well.
That's really cool to have
wow.
all your beers on tap throughout all seasons.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
So people don't have to just wait, until November comes around. They could have it for all seasons. So we're going to be running out of time. So tell everybody about the big opening event that you guys are putting on.
So October 31st, we're doing normally we open November 1st, but this year Friday falls on a Halloween.
Why not?
Yeah.
We're going to open at 3:00 in the afternoon. We're going to have just a little Halloween party out there. Whoever wants to come dressed up.
Tell everybody, we're on a college station. People are going to get excited about what's the
Rocky
theme.
Horror Picture Show.
Oh,
themed.
yes.
Yeah.
That'll be huge.
Yes. So, we'll have some happy hour starters and we'll have our beers on tap.
Yeah.
We're actually going to have, we didn't want to do a human costume contest, so we're doing a dog costume contest.
I was about to, what's not, I was like,
exactly. The way she led into that, like, not
like,
human.
what would not
Bring your
be-
lizard out. Bring your lizard. No.
bring your pet squirrel.
Yeah.
Are you guys dressing up?
we'll probably dress
We'll
up.
be.
He's all she's making me. Yes.
So
Actually, Lori is making it.
Lori's doing it. Oh,
Lori's
good.
our manager.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Oh, wow.
So our son and daughter-in-law run Blue Collar Pets, which is a pet grooming business,
Gotcha.
and so they're sponsoring the pet Halloween contest.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So what is you and the doggy win if you win this contest?
So they'll have a little gift basket that they're going to
gotcha.
have, and maybe little treats and freebies in there.
So if you like to get your dog dressed up for Halloween, this is the perfect place to take. Maybe it's like, finally, you got me something, doggy. Yeah, I won
you
because
want
of
me
you.
something.
Yeah. I judged the Halloween costume contest for dogs one year. Actually, at Prison Hill Brewing. Yeah, I did
Who
it.
won?
That was great. I think it was the one that was dressed up like a Starbucks barista. That was pretty cool. That was pretty neat.
That's
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah, it was pretty cute. But so how do people find out more information about everything you guys got going on?
So you can go to our website, hightanks.com, and we have a calendar of all of our events, and then also our Facebook and Instagram.
And tell everybody real quick, when is Kelly Hughes coming back?
Ooh.
First show is November 5th.
Oh, November 5th.
November 5th. And there's a lot of people in Yuma know Kelly Hughes has been performing here for a lot of years. And that's when it gets really packed out there, huh?
Yes.
It does.
You guys are awesome.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so-
Go getters. Don't stop.
Thank you guys so
having
much
us.
for being on. And now I got to get my stuff I'm supposed to read out of here. I did not have that ready. I was too into the. Okay, here we go. What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. We want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, along with Juan Garcia, Anthony Arnales, and Dave Reek.
And you can find out more about KAWC at kawc.org, on Facebook at KAWC Radio, and on the KAWC app. And stay tuned following our program for KOFA Midday Music.
And on our next program on Monday, we're going to have Liz Balicki. She's from Bad Apple Boxing, as well as Natasha from Rise Up Realty.
And you can listen to the podcast version of our program at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio, and email us at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
All right. So thank you guys again.
Guys.
Good luck at that first event.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter is sponsored by Yuma and Imperial Valley Wealth Management, offering solutions for those who value financial planning. YIVWM.com.
Broadcasting from Yuma campus of Arizona Western College for more than 55 years, this is Border Radio, 94.7 FM, KOFA Yuma. We also broadcast at 1320 AM in Yuma, at kawc.org, and on the KOFA app.
The Yuma Rotary Club will present the 67th annual Walt Cammon Sausage Fry starting at 4:30 on December 5th at the Yuma Civic Center. The event, which will include music and prizes, supports local scholarships administered by Yuma Rotary. Event details and tickets are available at yumarotary.org.